Lesson 90. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to say, I am able to do something, or I am not able to do something. And the word that we'll use to do that is posum. Posum is just the word sum, which means I am, with a pos prefix added to the front. But you can't use the word posum by itself. You have to use the word posum along with an infinitive. The word posum works together with an infinitive to make a sentence. Let's take a look at a couple of examples here on the page. The first example says, Aquam portare posum. Posum means I am able, and portare is an infinitive that means to carry. Aquam is the direct object. So the first example says, I am able to carry the water. In the next example, again we have the word posum, which means I am able, and then we have an infinitive, navigare, which means to sail, and then we have a prepositional phrase, ad insulam. So the second example says, I am able to sail to the island. In the third example, we have the word posum again, but it's being negated by the word non. So non posum means I am not able, and then we have an infinitive, numerare, which means to count, and then stellas is the direct object. So the last example says, I am not able to count the stars. So just to review, remember that the word posum cannot be used by itself. It needs an infinitive to work with it to make a sentence. Let's look at our exercises. In the first exercise, we have posum, that means I am able, and then we have an infinitive, natare, that means to swim. So number 1 says, I am able to swim. Next we have number 2. We have the word posum, which means I am able. It's being negated by the word non, so non posum will mean I am not able. We have an infinitive, portare, which means to carry, and scafam is the direct object. So number 2 says, I am not able to carry the boat. In number 3, again we have the word posum. That means I am able, and it's working along with the infinitive, navigare, which means to sail. Ad insulam is a prepositional phrase. So number 3 says, I am able to sail to the island. In number 4, we have posum, but it's being negated by the word non. So non posum means I am not able. The optional word ego is here. The infinitive is ambulare, and ad insulam is the prepositional phrase. So number 4 says, I am not able to walk to the island. In number 5, we have posum, and it's being negated by the word non. The infinitive is natare, which means to swim, and in silwa is a prepositional phrase. So number 5 says, I am not able to swim in the forest. In number 6, the verb is serwant. That means they guard or they are guarding, but we don't need the word they because incolai is the subject. Incolai is being possessed by the word silvarum, which is in the genitive plural, and kasas is the direct object. That's in the accusative plural. So number 6 says, the inhabitants of the forests are guarding the houses. In number 7, desideramus is the verb. That means we long for or we want. Navigare is an infinitive. That means to sail. And ad patriam is a prepositional phrase. So number 7 says, we are longing to sail to the homeland. In number 8, amat is the verb. That means he, she, or it likes, or he, she, or it loves. But we don't need the he, she, or it because poeta is the subject. Narrare is an infinitive that means to tell. Fabulas is the direct object. That means stories. And puellis is the indirect object. That's in the dative plural. So number 8 says, the poet loves to tell stories to the girls. In number 9, amo is the verb. That means I like or I love. Numerare is an infinitive that means to count. Quotidie means daily, and pecuniam is the direct object. So number 9 says, I like to count the money daily, or I love to count the money daily. In number 10, est is the verb. That means he, she, or it is, but we don't need the he, she, or it because pecunia is the subject. Pecunia is being possessed by the word nautai, which is genitive singular, and in scapha is a prepositional phrase. So number 10 says, the money of the sailor is in the boat, or the sailor's money is in the boat.